Imagine being in a conversation where your friend starts sharing their problems. Instantly, solutions flood your mind, and you're eager to share them. You feel helpful, right? However, according to Michael Bungay Stanier in The Advice Trap, this instinct to give advice can actually hinder real solutions and stifle relationships. Stanier's book is a guide to taming this inner advice monster and transforming how we interact, especially in leadership roles. Stanier introduces the concept of the advice monster, which is the inner voice that pushes us to give advice. This habit often stems from insecurity and a desire to control our environment. When we give advice too soon, we fail to listen deeply, leading to mediocre solutions based on our assumptions rather than the real issue. For instance, imagine someone asking for directions to a restroom. Here, advice is practical and needed. However, in more complex scenarios, like a colleague struggling with a project, premature advice can be counterproductive. When we interrupt, we fail to comprehend their real concerns, and we end up potentially offering advice on the wrong matter. Furthermore, constantly providing solutions exhausts us and limits others' growth, stifling innovation. Understanding the advice monster, Stanier identifies 3 personas of the advice monster. 1. Tell it. This persona believes it must always provide the right answers, hogging the spotlight to validate its importance. 2. Save it. More subdued, save it feels morally obligated to rescue situations, believing it alone holds the solutions. 3. Control it. The most manipulative, control it insists on maintaining a tight grip on everything to avoid chaos, mistrusting others' capabilities. These personas prevent us from truly engaging with others and place undue responsibility on our shoulders. To improve our interactions, we must recognize and tame these monsters, understanding they stem from our desire to manage stressful situations. Identifying triggers and behaviors. To tame the advice monster, we need to identify what triggers it. Stressful situations and specific individuals often set off our advice-giving reflexes. For Stanier, time with his brother triggers his control-it persona. Recognizing these triggers helps in managing our responses. Consider the settings that prompt your advice monster. Is it at work, during debates, or when you feel out of your depth? Reflect on your behaviors in these situations. Do you dominate conversations, give unsolicited advice, or take control to avoid discomfort? Identifying these patterns is crucial for breaking the advice-giving cycle. The costs and rewards of advice. Compulsive advice giving provides a short-term reward, feeling smart or in control. However, the long-term costs include strained relationships, limited leadership potential, and personal exhaustion. To foster genuine growth, we must prioritize future benefits over immediate gratification, envisioning a future you that engages without the reflex to advise. Asking better questions. Instead of offering solutions, Stanier advocates for asking open-ended questions to foster deeper understanding. Simple, broad questions like, "What's on your mind?" encourage comprehensive responses. Follow-up questions, such as, "What else?" or "What's the real challenge here for you?" delve deeper into underlying issues. A critical skill is resisting the urge to jump in with advice and instead asking more probing questions. For instance, if someone shares a problem, rather than suggesting solutions, ask them, "What do you want to achieve?" or "What options have you considered?" This approach shifts the focus to their thought process, empowering them to find their own solutions. Overcoming conversational traps. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, conversations remain superficial. Stanier identifies foggy fears, tactics that obscure real issues. These include coaching the ghost, discussing absent individuals rather than the person's own issues. Popcorning, presenting multiple, unrelated problems, creating confusion. Big picturing, talking abstractly to avoid specifics. Yarning, telling lengthy stories that distract from the main issue. Recognizing these traps allows us to redirect conversations towards meaningful discussions. By focusing on the individual's challenges, we encourage vulnerability and deeper engagement. Creating a safe environment. For transformative conversations, it's essential to create a safe space. This involves 1. Being on their side, show empathy and use inclusive language to demonstrate support. 2. Showing respect. treat the person as an equal, valuing their opinions. 3. Providing autonomy, allow them to guide the conversation and make decisions. 4. Managing expectations, avoid surprises and introduce a clear structure to ease discomfort. By fostering a safe environment, we bypass defensive reactions and facilitate open, productive dialogues. Practicing coachability. To become a good coach, one must also be coachable. This involves seeking feedback and continuously improving. Embrace the coaching mindset in daily interactions. Ask open-ended questions with family, colleagues, and even in written communications. Additionally, engaging with a coach helps identify personal obstacles, enhancing empathy and effectiveness in coaching others. The advice trap reveals that compulsive advice giving often undermines real solutions and relationships. By taming our inner advice monsters and focusing on asking insightful questions, we empower others to find their own answers and foster genuine growth. Embracing curiosity, creating safe environments, and practicing coachability transform us into better leaders and communicators. The journey of taming the advice monster is ongoing, but it leads to more meaningful, impactful interactions.